Okay, I think it's going through now. Well, gonna make a second attempt at this. Hopefully, this one works out because the first stream I just tried to do moments ago, I reviewed the video a little bit, and it seemed to be going through okay. So, wanted to make an update video, and I did a dry run. Recorded a video like a short while ago, but I'm just so tired and lazy right now that I just don't want to go through the process of editing it and uploading it. So hopefully this works and it streams the whole thing. But yeah, lots happened. Well, a lot has happened like in the last couple of weeks, and a lot's been going on ever since I guess my last update video. I don't even remember what I said in my last update video. But anyway, um, as you can see, I've got like a whole new backdrop because I am now moved into the prefab cabin my family is helping me out with, and yeah, it took it's taken a lot of work. Well, actually, more like a lot of time, and yeah, I guess a lot of work. But got insulation put in, got the drywall up, but there's still quite a bit to go as I am looking at some exposed woodwork, and the ceiling still requires maybe a few $100 more of insulation and drywall. I've still got a lot of drywall left to be dedicated to the roof, but I'm gonna have to get to that later. So the reason I am in this cabin, like I've moved out of my family's house. I've moved out, but not away, as my prefab cabin is located right behind my family's house. And the reason I had to move in here, well, this was supposed to take place a long time ago, but because of court restrictions and just just barring me from, oh, excuse me, producing the artwork that actually makes me money, and the pandemic alongside that, it's been really hard trying to get things going with this cabin as it is. But let's see. Yeah, it's not fully up and running yet. We got it all wired, and recently my uncle, who's an electrician, he helped wire the whole thing, and like we got the outlets and the switches put in. And this past weekend, we got the power line run into the power pole, or however you call it, power pole extend. No, no. But yeah, we just need to get the power company out here, approve it for inspection, and then hook me up to the grid. But like the getting it, getting the main power line out there had to be done pretty quickly, and I had to be moved out to the cabin. And the reason that is that my PO came by like about two, no, three, maybe think about 3 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. But he came by my residence, and this is like the first time since the pandemic started that he did that. And there was an issue with my probation restrictions, as I am living with my family, and my sister has a 1-year-old son, like my baby nephew, and I guess that's an issue. And I didn't really think of it as an issue. None of us did, because I'm always around a supervising adult, and I have no hand in raising or caring for the baby, because I made it clear that like since I spent like a good part of my childhood raising children, like I do not want to spend more of my adult years doing the same. So like yeah, like I have no hand in like carrying after my nephew, but he's a pretty funny baby. But yeah, the courts saw that as an issue and wanted me to uh, be out of the house as soon as possible. But they do agree that they don't see me as a threat. They don't think that I am capable of like harming another individual, especially like a blood relative. But it all has to do with like just abiding by the court restrictions and the court rules. So we just like the drywall that you see here was the last bit of drywall for the walls, the interior walls we had to put up. So we threw up the that drywall. I I measured and cut and installed the last bit of the bottom drywall over there. And we ran an extension cord from the house to my cabin through the window, and it's running through some power strips, which is what I have my whole setup hooked up to: my laptop, my monitor, um, my speakers, because I gotta have some tunes, and then power strips for my other devices like my clock radio and to charge my headphones and my phone and other various things, my lamp. But yeah, that all had to be done in a hurry just to get me out of the house per the court rules and restrictions. And it's been a hell of a couple of weeks because on top of that, I am expected to do 20 hours of community service as well as try to find a job or go back to school. And it's been pretty rough. Like all last week, I was doing community service, and doing community service out here is pretty difficult because it's kind of hard to come by, in a sense. I mean, like, yeah, I can go out and like pick up trash by the road or something, but I have to have someone to sign off on it to like say like, hey, yeah, Johnston Blackhorse did this community service, initial here, and like be done with it. Like, no one's no one here on the reservation is willing to stick around to make sure that I do that, or no one's really willing to sign off on it. And I found that out the hard way because I went straight to the chapter house and started doing community service for them, like clearing out the weeds and just picking up around the place. And they've been keeping track of my community service, but come Friday of last week, the chapter house was closed in observance of, I believe it was Navajo Taco Day, which is, I guess, a holiday here on the reservation now. It's a pretty cool day, you know. Like I didn't mind, but I wish I had known about it. But seeing as no one was there at the chapter house or at the neighboring courthouse, I drove around the area, asking people if I could do community service and have them sign off on it. Like nobody wanted to. Either nobody wanted to or I wasn't allowed to because of liability purposes. So I was stuck like Chuck for community service that day, but I had already put 15 hours in. So I spent that day digging the trench for the power line to my cabin. Oh, someone left a comment. Stormwolf says, you ever get your PO to allow lifting some of your art restrictions? Sorry, Storm. Like that's not going to be a topic to bring up to them. Like I've brought it up before, and the courts aren't having any of it. Because my artwork is considered a threat to society, like a literal threat to society. It's like my art is like a SCP cognito hazard, as someone had put it. But yeah. So again, back to what I was saying. So like all Friday, I spent like digging this trench for the power line to my cabin that goes from my cabin to the power pole, and it's about 30 feet long, and it has to be like about 2 feet deep. But digging down about half a foot, like at first I thought it was going to be pretty easy because around the power pole, like the dirt came out really smooth, and I was like, oh man, I might get this done in a day because the following day, like my uncle, the electrician I told you about, he was gonna finish wiring the house for the power line. So I had to get it done as quick as possible, and I thought it was going to be easy. No wait, I started digging Thursday after I got off community service. So I started digging Thursday. I thought it was going to be easy, but then half a foot down, I hit this really hard impacted clay dirt, and that shit was no fucking joke. So I grabbed the hose and watered the trench and just filled it with water, just hoping it would soak through the clay and just make it that easier to just dig out. But come Friday, after I came back from my community service search empty-handed, it's like, oh well, I guess I get today off. You know, it's nothing I can do about it. So I came back to start working on the trench, and where that impacted clay was, I would dig about maybe a couple of inches, and then it was just dry as a bone again, and back to just hard impacted clay, and it was just fucked. So I was out there just digging out in the hot sun, and this is like after a whole week of just like working community service, just hoeing and raking weeds or in like around the local chapter house. And you know, I was getting really frustrated at this trench, and during my exhaustion and frustration, I slipped up and I stepped on the business end of a pickaxe. It went through my shoe and went into my foot, and it left about a half-inch diameter, maybe 3/4 of an inch diameter. It left that big a hole in the bottom of my foot, like right where the arch is, and it just fucking sucked. Like in the moment, like I didn't really feel any pain, but I knew it was bad because I felt the pickaxe slip into my foot, under the skin, I think like through like meat or whatever, and knee-jerk reaction, I pulled my foot back and felt that pickaxe spike slip back out of my foot, and I knew I had fucked up bad. It sucked. So I hobbled my way back into the house, and that's when the pain started setting in, and it was really shitty. And I went into the bathroom, like well, I took off my shoe, I took off my sock, limped my way into the bathroom, and started washing it out. And as shitty as it felt, like I took my thumbs and started pressing on the open wound, like hoping to get any debris out that might have like forced its way in there from the pickaxe. And a small pebble of my shoe was lodged in there, and I was able to just kind of like squeeze that out, and it was bad. Like it was deep too. Like I don't know how deep it was, but like I could see like parted flesh, and when I was like squeezing it, like squeezing the wound like a pimple, I was like trying to get any more debris out after I got the pebble of my shoe out, and I was taking out little tiny like white chunks, and I noticed that was my gristle. Like those were like little like tiny fat cells that I was pulling out of my feet, and I was like, oh fucking hell, this I got to go to the ER. So But but first, before going to the ER, came dinner. Because man, I was working in that hot sun like most of the day, and I hadn't really eaten that much up to that point. So we had some like steaks, like bread, and I think there were some vegetables. But but for some reason, working that hard all throughout the week kind of like shrank my stomach, so I was only able to eat like a small portion, like of any meal, and during that night, like I only ate like a small sliver of steak, and so family ate up, I ate up what little I could, and then we were off to the emergency room. And thankfully, I got into the emergency room pretty quick, and what took a really long time after the I got into the emergency room was getting the results from the X-ray. But it was a pretty quick procedure and whatever. And I went in there thinking I was going to need stitches, but I guess for a puncture wound like that, they prefer to keep it open just so it can heal from like the inside out and just like drain any juices that might emit from it. So, yeah, like since Friday, my foot's been pretty fucked. So no community service for me this week, you know. So, yeah, it's pretty shitty. But it's just like fucking life has just been really, really difficult. Like I feel like I'm spreading myself thin, just trying to look after my family, caring for my wife, not my wife. I, like I wish I had a wife. I might have a wife someday, but no. Um, Caring for my mom. Stupid slip up. Yeah, like caring for my family and like looking after my mom, and at the same time trying to make the courts happy. And with the courts throwing on top like these new like requirements of like 20 hours of community service a week until I find a job or go back to school is just putting a real twist on my crank, you know, like it's just fucking shitty. But yeah, like I don't know. It's like I understand what they're trying to do is like they're trying to make me a productive member of society, but I'm sort of like in that sense I'm trying to do that by like being there for my mom because like she's still in recovery from her spine surgery and coupled with her Navajo neuropathy, like it's making healing and getting back on her feet that much harder. And it was only like a few months ago, I had to be at her side like pretty much at all times. She has her medical bed set up in the living room, and that's where I had my cot. Like I was also like in the living room, like on the other side, and I would be there to just help her in and out of her wheelchair when she needed to like go somewhere or like needed help getting wheeled to the restroom. And then during the night before I'd go to sleep, like I would often like check on her catheter bag because this is back when she still had a catheter, and I would empty that and go to the restroom and flush it, and then just be there for her like at any given moment that she would need me. And even throughout the day, like the rest of the family is either like going to work or um, like well, school hasn't started yet, but school's going to start soon. So thankfully, like she's at a point in her recovery where she's a little more mobile. She's still in the wheelchair, but she's able to do like a lot of the things that she was wanting to do as a mother, like cook, do dishes, do some cleaning. And nowadays, like when I go over there, like I'll find her in the middle of doing dishes, and I'll help her out by either rinsing or putting the dishes away. And when she cleans, like I'll be there to like take the dustpan and the broom to sweep the rest of the debris up and then throw in the trash. But yeah, like I feel like I've just been doing like a lot and enough to be there for her and my family, help out as much as I can with what little money I'm able to make with the restrictions I have now. But to have the courts throw on top like these new requirements, it just fucking sucks. And the reason they're doing that is because the Native American art just isn't paying off for me. I'm not painting as much pottery as I need to be in order to make a sustainable living. Because let's face it, tourism, like it is coming back, but like coming back really slowly. And with this Delta variant sweeping through, like I'm not sure how well that recovery is gonna last. So the courts want me to make like a livable wage for myself, but I feel like I'm already there. You know, like yeah, like I'm making more or less $300 a month, puttering along the way I'm doing with the restrictions I got, but it's enough to cover my bills and to help my family out with whatever they need. But I need to be, I guess I need to be making more, not only for myself, but to also pay this polygraph fee, which is about $300 out of my pocket. But thankfully, my stepdad's saying that he's willing to front the cost for that fee, because I've helped out the family in and around the house with like a lot of expenses. Because there have been several times I've had that $300 in hand, but then like something stupid comes out of left field and just fucking swoops that money away. It just, I just got really shitty luck. But I'm doing what I can to get along, you know, just get by. And I've been looking for jobs. I got this contact from this trucking company, but they refused me because they said they're not hiring in my area. But chances are they looked up the whole like the prior like felon thing like I had to fill out. Like maybe I should just start lying on that and just ignore it completely. Because I think that would be the only way I'd get a job. And hey, like if they find out later, at least I got maybe a paycheck or two under my belt before they can me for not divulging that information. But you know, it really sucks. But anyway, I think the only avenue I have left going for me is the going back to school, and around here that would be like Dene College. And I guess it's pretty cheap, and I'm gonna try to apply there and try to get like apply for like a Pell Grant loan or something, and see what happens with that. And I'm gonna go in for like a certificate program, and I'm gonna go in for the computer. I got it right here. Computer technology. Yeah, that's it. Personally, I wanted to go like for like a welding program or a construction program, or even like friggin' hell a CDL. But they have those programs over at this other school off the reservation, and it costs thousands of money, thousands of monies that I don't have. So Dene College is my best choice because I guess like the program that I'm looking at costs maybe about $500, I think, for per semester. So I'm gonna see how it goes with that. So I'm gonna be giving this place a call pretty soon, but I've just kind of been putting it off because I've been letting my foot heal. And I would show it off, but like my feet are pretty gross to begin with, and to like have like showing off like this dime or nickel size hole in my foot on top of like my foot being ugly. That would be like the cherry on top of that sandwich. I mean, you don't put cherries on sandwiches. What the fuck, are you crazy? Maybe ice cream sandwiches, you know. It would be the cherry on top of that turd sundae ice cream sandwich. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not showing off my feet. But last I checked, like the wound is doing pretty good. Like I don't seem to be suffering from any sort of infection. The doctors had prescribed me some antibiotics, and on top of that, I've been taking ibuprofen, which I had forgotten to take a few hours ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some now. But the ibuprofen like helps keep the swelling down and helps keep the pain away. Where's my water? There you go. But yeah, it's been going on. I think it's been going on long enough. Reconnected. Oh, anyway, yeah. But yeah, that's what's been going on. Like these past months and like these past couple of weeks have just been freaking hell in a handbasket, and I'm stuck for knowing what to do, and it really sucks. Like I guess I have no one to blame but myself, but you know what? That's not really true. Like I can blame the bitch, cunt, old hag of a pre-sentence investigator who worked on my case, because she made this a lot more harder than it needed to be. It was like my prosecutor like gave me this plea deal agreement for 2 years in prison, which is below the minimum, and I think it was 5 years probation. And she offered me that deal, and like it was a pretty sweet deal, and so I took it. But that fucking bitch cunt of a federal pre-sentence investigator fucked me over royally. So instead of the 2 years, she bumped it up to the 4 year minimum, and she was wanting to go like more than that. She wanted more time in prison, and she bumped the 5 years on probation up to a lifetime. And this fucking bitch, like, she just came to her own hasty conclusions based on no evidence whatever. Like please God, please. I hope she's dead and rotting in a grave. Like, no, a grave would be too good for her. I hope she's dead and rotting in a fucking ditch, man. I hope, like, fucking COVID came and swooped her up. That's what I hope. Like, such a fucking old crone hag cunt. God damn it. I fucking hate her. So yeah, like, I can blame her for that. Because, like, my prosecutor wanted to go easy on me. But the funny thing is, like, I don't, like, I know I mentioned this in a previous video, but that prosecutor isn't a prosecutor anymore. Last I heard, she was fired because she was a crooked prosecutor. And to glaze over that, I know I mentioned this before, but to like go over it again, like she was canned for trying to add extra charges for a jury to deliberate on without the defense knowing about it. But the judge had caught her like last minute. Like as she was handing the charges for the jury to deliberate on this other dude's case, she snuck in like another like charge or two under the stack, and the judge caught her. He's like, "No, hold on, wait, what was that?" And like he called her over and like looked over the charges, and he pulled out the extra charges she was trying to like sneak in there, and like you can't do that. You can't sneak in extra charges that the defense had hadn't been prepared for or even seen, and giving them to the jury to deliberate on. And so for that, like fucking the judge cleared out the whole room. It was just her and this prosecutor, and I guess she had been like up to shady shit like that for like several times before, but that was it. That was what cinched the whole thing. Like she got let go. She got shit canned that day. And if I had known all this stuff about her at the time, I think I would have gone to trial, because she offered me a deal that she had never offered anybody. Like anyone with the same charges that I had, like she was nailing them to the wall. And like my speculation is that she had nothing on me. So she went ahead and offered me like this sweet plea agreement for 2 years confinement with 5 years probation, which goes under like the mandatory minimum thing. And I believe like she was doing that in a way to like just hope just that I would take that deal, because I think in whatever thing that she was working on, like she had nothing on me. But in retrospect, like knowing that now, like I think I ought to have like taken it to trial, which sucks too, because I flipped a coin and like asked fate and asked my like guardian angel whether I should take it to trial, and all those things like came up like, yes, take it to trial. And knowing that she was a crooked prosecutor, and knowing that that she was offering me this sweet plea deal, well, this is all speculation on my part. Like I believe that she probably didn't have anything on me, so the case probably wouldn't have gone anywhere, and it would have been dropped. But yeah, that's all far and away now. So fuck that prosecutor for not letting me go at the time, because after I was sentenced and after I was sitting in prison, like this new ruling came down from the higher courts that says, like, if a prosecutor, like, something about either like new evidence coming to light, like exculpatory. I can't remember what the word is, but if new evidence comes to light that clears the defendant, then they have to bring that forward or let the guy go. You know, they can't withhold evidence like that anymore. So bad timing for me, I guess. Like just more shit luck in my life. But anyway, yeah, like. Yeah, things didn't have to be this hard, man. Like, things are just so much harder now that I have to just try to keep up with all this shit. And I was treading water with, like, my legs tied beforehand. But now with all these other things coming down on top of me, I'm having to tread water with my hands tied behind my back. And it just fucking sucks. And, you know, like, even today, I was in the red about $3, and big thanks and props go to my personal confidant, my my soulmate, and my comrade, who just like I told her about it and asked if she could spot me about $5, and she did so. And yeah, she's like one of my she not one of my, but like my top my top my top tier client. Like she's been helping me through thick and thin through this whole time, and just whenever I'm in a spot like this, like she's willing to just toss me a bone, you know. But yeah, like life would be so much more difficult without her. And with all this going on, I'm just hoping and praying that things turn around pretty soon, that there's something good right around the corner. And I just got to hold out for it, because right now things just get really tough time and time again. And it's hard. It's hard keeping up with all this bullshit. But I gotta do what I gotta do. Thanks to that shitty, crooked prosecutor and that bitch, cunt, whore, slut, slag, crone. Okay, I can't call her a slut because that would be slanderous. But I think what she did to me, like with my pre-sentence investigation, was a very cunt thing to do. So yeah, fuck that bitch. I seriously do hope she's dead. Anyway, I'm doing what I can with what I got. What I got isn't much, but I'm I'm edging away at it, you know. But yeah, if anyone out there, if anyone out there has an idea or has a job that I could do, be it design, animation, like I'm willing to do it. I just need an opportunity. I don't know, like something within my skill set and something within the parameters of my my workstation. Because earlier somebody had suggested I do like 3D work, like 3D design or printing 3D figures or something, but I said like I don't have the capital for that. It's like I need a whole new system, because this Lappy, as good as it is for the work that I do now, cannot handle 3D software. It's like I mentioned it like before in like a previous video where I had downloaded Blender, hoping that I could learn 3D and maybe try to pick up some 3D work, but my Lappy has like outdated tech in it that will not operate this this Blender software. So I'm more or less stuck like Chuck. But if anyone has any ideas of how I can make some money, I'd really appreciate it. Or even better yet, if anybody knows or hears of a job that I can do or apply for, be it doing comic book art, doing illustrations for books, doing animations for video games or cartoons, I'd really much appreciate it. Because I'm floundering here. Floundering. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do about applying for this computer technology. See what happens with that. Get this polygraph done and over with, and hopefully they'll let me go soon after that. Because I've been here for, I don't know how long. How long have I been on probation? Around about 4 years. I've been on probation for about 4 years. And if it weren't for that fucking pre-sentence investigator, that fucking slag, I'd almost be done right now. Like 1 year left to go, I'd be coasting. And I'd be done with it. But no, she had to give me lifetime, that fucking bitch. Rotten hell is all I have to say to her. Rotten hell, Sandy Schmidt, you fucking crooked Fed prejudgmental, prejudicial, stupid cunt. Hope you die of whatever, be it getting hit by a car, be it accidental house fire, or COVID. That'd be nice. You know, just fucking die, rot, burn in hell. I would very much appreciate it. But anyway, all that aside, I hope you enjoyed this depressing video. I hope you enjoyed this depressing fucking video. God damn it. But I'm gonna do what I can to like make some more updates with my artwork, my art sites, but it's just really fucking hard because I'm getting stretched so fucking thin with like courts, family, and now I have to try to like do community service 20 hours a week, find a